Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Between Friends. I'm Eileen Roche, co-founder of Dime, and I'm a longtime embroiderer. You're probably here because you love embroidery like I do, and maybe you're looking for tips on how to be a better embroiderer. Since we've been embroidering here at Dime for almost 30 years, we've encountered many of the same challenges you faced in your studio. And we have solutions for you. Today's topic is all about decorating tote bags. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. Did you know that tote bags were actually created to carry ice in 1944? They were designed to haul blocks of ice from a distributor, an ice distributor, to your home ice chest. And LL Bean's ice carrier was made from the canvas material that was used in making conveyor belts. So LL Bean is really the inventor of tote bags. Since then, that ice carrier has evolved into the ever popular Bean, Boat, and Tote. Today, thousands of other companies offer tote bags in a variety of sizes and fabrics. And we haul groceries, clothing, bats, balls, rackets, quilts, knitting materials, and countless other items in tote bags. They're not only functional, they're also a blank slate to express our hobbies, artistic talents, sports endeavors, and more. Although they are a household item, it's not always as easy as it looks when you're trying to embroider on them. And today's program is brought to you by the Essential Hardware Bundle, everything you need to hoop a tote bag and more. Before we take a look at that, let's say hello and see what kind of comments we have. Linda Johnson said, yeah, she could have used those ice bags a few weeks ago when her fridge was broken. Oh, that's a bummer, Linda. So I hope you didn't suffer too much. You can lose a lot of food, and it can really be a hassle in your home when that happens, for sure. We have friends from all over: North Carolina, Kalamazoo, Phoenix, Longmont, Colorado, and Marianne Dublagla is up there in sunny Ohio. Two words you don't often hear together in the winter, right? And here's a friend from Philly. We love that. And Linda Johnson, nice to see so many of her new friends, sisters in stitching for sure. We have someone here. There's my Kathy Colvin, my stitching sister, my sister-in-law from Minnesota. We have someone here today from, is it Holland or the Netherlands? Let's see. I'm just kind of flipping through these comments. It's so nice to have her join us. I've missed her comment now, but anyway, you can kind of scroll back and see there she is, Esther. She's from the Netherlands. So welcome, Esther. Thanks for joining us from the other side of the globe. It's lovely to have you here. How many of you have done tote bags, and have you faced any challenges when you have tried to embroider on tote bags? They seem like such a simple thing, right? Until you try to hoop it, or until you pick out your design and you realize it's not really going to work that way, because a tote bag canvas is really a vertical canvas, and on a single needle machine, it doesn't work out that well, right? We want to stitch horizontally, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. And Tracy Edwards says that she loves making bags. Well, I do too. And I think many of you watching probably love to make bags. But today we're talking about bags, tote bags that we purchase that are blank, right? And let's see. So Anne Philback says she's done many embroidery on bags for sure. And Pamela says opening a seam to be able to stitch is not a joy. I agree. Not always. Sometimes it's necessary, though. So let's go ahead and take a look at the product that we're going to show you. So this is the totally tubular product, right? It's your hooping solution. Sorry about those. It's not really a typo. We have a little hiccup there in our font, not kerning properly. But it's a cantilevered platform, that totally tubular hooping station, which is a part of the Essential Hardware Bundle, which you're going to learn about today. And it also comes with PAL. This is the totally tubular hooping station. It's 2 boards, and they each have a plate on them, and then you connect those 2 boards by a post, which becomes a cantilever device. You're going to love that. And maybe we'll flip on the overhead cam so they could just see that side angle, so they know exactly what we're talking about there. See how that is? Isn't that beautiful? And we're going to slide our bag right over that. But first, I want to show you the savings that you would get today on the Essential Hardware Bundle. It is $150 for both the Totally Tubular Hooping Station, PAL 3, and you're going to get 100 Target stickers in that very cool little dispenser, and also the large hoop mat, the pink hoop mat. So I think you'll be excited. And those savings add up to $106.97. So let's go ahead and welcome in Sue Brown. She is my good friend from OML Embroidery, and Sue is here today to kind of help us talk about hooping totes, and she's also here because we're going to do the On the House project. So hey, Sue.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I love tote bags, by the way. I don't enjoy hooping them on the single needle machine, but they're easy peasy on the 10 needle.
They are easy peasy on a 10 needle, but a lot of us have that flatbed single needle machine, and so it's okay. Look at Sue. She's,
I just didn't like it. I was like, I don't know what to do with the rest of the bag. Like, what am I supposed to do?
I know,
but
right?
We'll learn today.
We'll look at both. We'll look at both, right? And because sometimes that's your only option, if whatever machine it is that you had, right? That you have at home.
Everyone's saying hi. Hi, everyone.
And Phil Beck is saying hi.
Yes.
And Amy. These are all your, let me guess. OML gang?
Yes.
Right?
Of course.
I love that. Yeah. Dawn Tennyson, Star Raymond. It's lovely to have all these friends here. So is that pink hand? Is that like a code sign of OML?
No. It's cute though.
Yeah, it is cute. And it's eye-catching. Hi, Reen. Reen Wilcoxon from Embroidery Gardens joining us today. She says canvas is a nice substrate to embroider on. It is. It's sturdy, right? It's so strong, canvas. So you'll use a little stabilizer, but not that much. Not that much. Yeah. Okay, and Tracy Edwards, she already has the entire system, the Essential Hardware Bundle. So she says she wouldn't hoop without it. I don't blame you. Thank you for your purchase. We appreciate that. Okay, so let's see what else where we want to start. So let's go ahead over to PowerPoint, and we'll take a look at PAL 3. So if we could just pull up PowerPoint. I want to call out to you that the gooseneck it's about 28 inches. So it's really tall. And what does that mean? That means you can use it to illuminate that crosshair, that laser crosshair on large hoops, which is really handy. But it was also designed to fit snugly right onto the Totally Tubular Hooping Station. Now, of course, you're not limited to using it on the hooping station. You could also put it on, a table if you are hooping larger items. But you'll find that PAL 3 is such a great product. We've been using it for years, and we still use it every day. So now that we have Sue Brown in the house, I think it's time to really get going at what we're going to do here. So first thing you're going to start off with is the size of your tote, right? So if you start there, that will help you pick a hoop, and that will help you pick a design. So we're going to kind of work backwards when we're doing totes. Now, Sue, normally we have a design, right? And that's where we start. But really on a tote bag, you have to do it the opposite direction.
One thing I love to do is the print and stick. Do that before, and then stand back and look at it and see if it looks good. And of course, if it fits in the hoop too.
Right, for sure.
I've seen some that are like too small for a big tote. And I'm like, oh, you should be printing and sticking.
Yes. So, I have one of those templates already printed out on a big tote. So I'm going to go ahead and just share that image with you. Well, actually right on the tote. And then we're going to talk about it a little bit later. So if you look at the overhead cam, We can do it this way. So yeah, this is a nice big design, right? But you're going to learn in a little while that it's not going to hoop properly. So I have another solution for you for that. But I just wanted you to see that's our print and stick target template paper, and it's sticky. So it sticks right to my hand, sticks right to the canvas. Love that stuff. It's great. One of your favorite products, huh, Sue?
I enjoy it. Yes, definitely. You can try on stuff before you stitch it. And I think that's really awesome.
Yeah. So I have my PAL 3 is attached to my board, and the totally tubular hooping station that's in the Essentials bundle comes with a 13-inch square hooping mat that fits, perfectly on that board. It also comes with the smaller one, which is 8 inches by 13, and that's the board that's underneath. So if you showed me that side cam, you can see that, this is an elevated surface, and these two boards are held apart. Can we get a side cam up there? Is held apart by the post that comes with it. And of course, you're going to get a hoop mat the same size as this bottom board, because you could flip this whole thing around and use it for smaller hoops. But right now, I'm going to show you like a big tote, right? This is very similar to the LL Bean boat and tote. And it's got plenty of opening for me, right? Look how wide that mouth is. I mean, I can really, let me see. I'm in the wrong direction here. Here we go. You can see here just how large that opening is. So this is not going to be a problem to do on a single needle machine. And I'm just going to show you how I would tackle it. So I would take my 8x8 hoop and place it on the board. And I'm aligning the marks on my hoop with the crosshair of PAL. So the beam is hitting the center marks. Now on my tote bag, I have one side that has a pocket on the outside. So let me show you that. So this is a pocket here. So I definitely don't want to embroider on that side. I would lose the pocket, right? And on this side, it has an inside pocket. And I just want to illustrate to you that it is captured in the casing at the top, right? So this is embroiderable because I can flip this out and keep it out of the design area. Now, I have already folded my tote in half and found the center, and that's what that pin there is designating. So now I'm going to dress my board, and you can see that I get that strap underneath and get that out of harm's way, and I just open that big mouth, put it right over the top board, and I'm centering PAL on this line, right? Because I have a straight pin there marking the center. And I know that my hoop underneath is centered on the crosshair. So as long as I just take my top frame and position it like so. Well, first let's go ahead and let's get the zipper out of harm's way, and that pin that was marking the center, let's take that out of the way. And now when I place that down, I could just make sure that it is all nice and flat, and I'm going to take a target sticker and position that right in the center of that crosshair. And remember, the target sticker comes with 100. It's a roll of 100 in that nice little dispenser. I want to put that target sticker so that the arrow is pointing toward the top of the tote bag, because that's the orientation of the design. So I'm in good shape. Now we're going to, carefully remove this from the totally tubular hooping station. And if you're really nervous about dislodging it, well, go ahead and take your hoop shield and put that inside the tote. This tote's huge. And now I can carry that over to the machine and attach it to the machine. First thing I'm going to have to do is turn this bag wrong side out. I have to get this whole body above. So I've already done that, and I want to show you the video of what it looks like on the machine. Okay, so let's go ahead and play that. And here you can see I've turned it right side out. So now the design area is down underneath the tote. And so I've turned it wrong side out. And I'm just, it's a stiff canvas bag. So I'm getting it onto the pantograph. And now I'm going to open up that mouth, right? I have to carefully pull that top layer underneath the foot, get the strap, and keep that, under control, and then just lift the whole thing over the head of the machine, just like that. Control that top strap. You might want to, clip it in place or pin it, and then use your trace feature to make sure that you're going to be able to travel around the design and nothing will become dislodged. So it's that simple on a really big bag, but they come in all sizes, right, Sue?
Yeah. I've never seen one that big, but that sure does make it easier, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, like big beach bags, I mean, they're big. You have to get some, beach towels in there and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. Quilt bags. I am often carrying quilts back and forth from the office to home and so forth. So I need a big bag for that. Now, Sheila asked, does the tote need to be fabric or can this work on most any type of tote? Well, that's a good question. It will be fabric. So it will be canvas. It could be quilted fabric. You have to be careful of some of the polyester, the kind of luggage tote bags, so I would refer to Deborah Jones's compass for instructions on what kind of needle to choose and what kind of stabilizer. But outside of that, tote bags are tote bags, and they all get hooped the same for sure. So let's see. And so Amy says you never would have guessed that. Yeah, well, it only works on really big bags, truth be told. And, like I was saying, some bags are quite large and some aren't, and we'll do those next. But for the big bags, it's really the best way to control it. Just get it up over the hood of the machine. And this is kind of in an instance where a smaller machine is actually more desirable, right? Because these really giant machines, everything is bigger. So it can be a little bit more challenging. Let's see. And Catherine, you have all the parts. Awesome. I'm so glad. Yeah, it's good. It's really good to use it all. So, okay, now let's go over and take a look at some other bags. Let me clean up this mess. And now here's two bags that are really common. And one is this color block. I love this tote bag. It's got 3 different colors here. I'll kind of scrunch it up for you so you can see. And it looks pretty generous, right? It really does look pretty generous. And then we have a denim tote bag. So I'm going to try to hoop this bag, all right? And I'll start by turning it. Well, I guess I'll start by marking the center. So I'm just going to fold it in half, and I'm going to place a pin right there vertically. Just that gives me a good eyeball, and then I'll turn it wrong side out. And I'm doing this because, it's probably just easier, right? It's probably just easier. Because what I'm doing now is I'm not really concerning myself with the design and really even with the placement. I'm just kind of eyeballing that. But what I want to see is, am I going to be able to get my hoop inside of here and open up the design area? So we'll start with a flat hoop. That obviously, this is a 6x6. It's pretty, generous size, but not giant. And then, so we're going to flip this around so that the body is over the pantograph. And I do like to kind of turn on POW, use that as a centering mark. I'm going to get that hem over, align it with the edge of the metal frame, and that will help me with placement. Now I want to move it down so that the crosshair is aligned. And then I'm just going to put this inside. And frankly, right now I can remove this because I just kind of want to show you. Just want to show you if this is going to work. And you can see here, I can't really get it open. I can't get it open enough to control the design field, right? So I'm probably going to have to go to a 4x4 hoop on that or do something a little different. So I want to compare the size of that to my denim tote bag. And look, they look like they are just about the same size, but they're not. We get just about 1.5 inches more of the denim bag, and it is probably going to make a difference. So let's go ahead and do the denim bag. And this time, I'm going to fold it in half and mark that center, and I will turn it right side out, wrong side out after we do the placement, right? So let's go ahead and get this aligned. I'm getting myself a little turned around in here. Why do I do that, Sue, when the camera goes on? Does that ever happen to you when you're teaching?
Yes, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because it's live. Anything can happen.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to slide this over. And you just want to take your time. And so we have that horizontal beam aligned in this fashion. And then I'll get my target sticker and position it right here in the center. I'm going to remove that that pin. And then we'll take our hoop. And we have to get it in the right orientation. There we go. Okay, and now we can hoop this. We can turn it wrong side out. So we're going to pull this off. I literally hooped part of the mat there.
I've done that.
Can't make this stuff up. And so it's a little challenging, right? So we have to kind of turn it, hold it flat, make sure all this design area is open. And then it's not bad. It's a lot better than the other one. And I'll bet the addition of a hoop guard would help. So I'm going to slide this in. I'm, working under the hood here a little bit. And I'm putting that hoop guard in place. And now I have that open. And now got to get that strap out of the way. Now I can go ahead and go to the machine and be confident that this is all going to stay clear, get those straps under control. And once it's attached to the machine, you remove that, center the needle over the target sticker and remove that design. So that was simple. Okay, let's see. We have 8 days ahead of rain. Oh yeah, well, rain is terrible. And Brenda, you have the older PAL and you love it. Well, good for you. Yeah, we did have to discontinue that. Well, not that we had to, but we just thought it was better too. And let's see, Catherine, you're always schlepping stuff. Yeah, I'm always schlepping stuff. I feel like a bag lady back and forth, from the office to home. Okay, so now let's take a look at a bag that's probably a little bit smaller than my color block tote. And that is this adorable tote that was created by my friend and our educator here at Dime, Anne McCarthy. Look how cute that is. But look how narrow that is, right? Let's go ahead and measure that. I mean, that is tiny. Really, when you consider the opening, that's pretty small. Yeah, it's only about 13 inches. So what she did, Anne, she went ahead and she opened the seam. One of our friends said, oh, she hates to do that, but sometimes you have to. So you'll release the hem a little bit and then open that side seam so that you have one flat piece, and that does work fine. And then you really can do a much bigger design because you'll be open and it'll be flat. So that's a great solution to that. Okay, next up, we want to talk about, so that blue tote that I showed you on the machine, what if you have a design that is too vertical for your hoop, right? Like, yes, we can probably do an 8x8 hoop on this, but this is a vertical space. And if this is 9 inches, I'm not going to be able to use my giant 9x14 hoop in this fashion because, you know, I won't be able to get the rest of this up over the head of the machine. So you could convert that into a patch and just as easily turn this into a pressing station, right? So we would remove that template, that totally tubular, that print and stick template, and we would change this board. We have a wool mat that you can purchase separately that is designed to fit right around PAL 3. And we place that on the board, and then you would just dress the board and place your patch in position, and you could, you know, do whatever style you want. You could have it go a little sideways. You could center it using PAL and make sure it's nice and straight, and then fuse it in place, and then it's done. And you don't even have to worry about wrestling with it in a hoop. A. McCarthy also shared some adorable patch designs. Look at this. Now, this is a pocket, so, and it's not that big of a pocket. So even if she had a multi-needle machine, she wouldn't be able to stitch this banner, this America banner, on that pocket because, you know, it wouldn't get open enough to do that width of a design. So this is her travel bag, and she's decorated it with, you know, highways that she's traveled on and so forth. And oh, isn't that fun? So patriotic. I love that. It's just beautiful. She's also done, now smaller, this, we can still call it a tote bag, even though it's a cosmetic case. It's toting things. And she didn't hassle with hooping this. She just made those patches, fused them in place. And, you know, now she's got a custom bag. And it's awesome. It's really awesome. She's got another great tote bag that just screams, I'm a stitcher. I love to sew. And look at, so when she does a class or, you know, I don't know, my goodness, look at all these fun patches she has created to decorate this tote bag. And it's not just this side or this side. She's even decorated the back, the other. Look at that. Oh my goodness. She's a fabricaholic. She collects machines. She's an artist at work. She's got, you know, schoolhouse, and she's a blockhead. Oh, these are just so fun. So you don't have to limit yourself to just one or two designs. You can really go to town and fill that entire tote bag canvas with fun designs.
That's my favorite so far. I like that with the patches.
Isn't that fantastic?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Amy McCarthy is so talented. Yeah, she really is. She is just, you know, Ain, she's one of our educators here at Dime. And oh my goodness, she just does beautiful work. So, and because she's local, I can, you know, steal or borrow, right, some of her samples to share with you. Our other educators also have fabulous samples, but we don't ship them back and forth. So that's why you don't see the other folks' samples here on live. But Ain's are spectacular, so I'm grateful.
Absolutely, I love that one. I think that's the best I've seen for a tote bag, and it's busy, so it keeps your eye looking, and all I see is really beautiful patches.
Right, absolutely. And you know, you have patches in your DNA. You've spent how many years making patches?
20.
20, yeah.
20, yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
I know a good patch. Yeah, that's a lot of patches I made over the years.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're good looking patches. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they really are. So Dawn says, great inspiration. Well, I know Ain's samples are definitely inspirational. So now next up, let's talk about a multi-needle machine. So I have this tote bag that is a burlap with it's burlap, you know, all the way around, right? But then it has this really nice white canvas pocket. And I thought, wow, it would be really nice to decorate that. Couldn't do this really on a single needle machine, but on a multi-needle machine, you sure could. So let's go ahead and place a 5x7 hoop. Now, this is for a multi-needle hoop. So you're familiar with the magnetic frame being used in this fashion on a single needle machine. But when you're doing a tubular item on a multi-needle machine, you flip that top frame over because we want the magnet on the bottom. And I'll show you why in just a second. So I'm lining up these center marks on my hoop with the crosshair. And then as you can see, I have already found the center, the vertical center of the pocket, and I've marked that with a pin. So now I'm just going to dress the board, and I'm only going to put the pocket over the board. Now this is a nice wide pocket, so I'm able to do that. And it gets a little snug here as we get closer because the pocket, is further away from the opening. And if that occurs, then it's okay to move your hoop closer to the edge and move that crosshair closer to, the center mark closer to the edge. And it might take me a minute to do this because I just want to make sure that I'm aligned with the marks on my hoop. And so we'll just take a moment to get this centered. You also have to understand that because we're doing this on a camera, I have my pal positioned in an awkward position so that your view of all of this is not obstructed by the gooseneck of pal, right? So it's difficult for me to align the crosshair with this grid because I'm not square. The pal is not square to the grid. But that's okay. I can, as long as my hoop is aligned to that frame, then I'm probably in good position. But we could try just a little bit more because in the pocket, we do have kind of a tight area to get in and we want to be rather straight. So we'll just take a minute. That's good. That's pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to slide this pocket over the board. And again, I'm aligning that crosshair with my center pin. And I want to make sure that it's going to be aligned. And we have so I have the body of the tote underneath that is kind of fighting me a little bit. So you just have to control the whole thing, right? Just control the whole thing. And we want to get that aligned. And once we do, we'll take our target sticker and place that right on that crosshair right there. Okay. And now, believe it or not, we can turn this off because I'm not fighting the placement anymore, right? And then I can take that top metal frame, pop it in place, and align the frame with the top with the bottom, and then off that comes. Let's get that side camera, and you can see now I can go right to a multi-needle machine and just get that right onto the machine. The throat will go inside this area, and I'll be ready to stitch. I'll center my needle over that target sticker and stitch the design. Okay. Tote bags, they're fun, right?
That one is going to look really nice with just the pocket done. I like it.
Yeah, it really will. It'll look really nice. And because it's kind of tight to the bag, it should stand out really well and not like kind of flop open, which, is what you want, right? You don't want it to be really floppy. It doesn't have a closure on it. So, but even with that. And let's see, Betty Coley says no stabilizer. Oh no, we definitely need stabilizer. And I would use a tearaway, probably a medium soft tearaway for these canvas tote bags because they're strong, but I think you still want stabilizer, don't you, Sue?
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm skipping the stabilizer here so that I can just kind of show you the hooping process. And if stabilizer is a challenge for you during this process, like that loose sheet can kind of get, out of a line or just a little bit of a hassle, floated underneath. These tote bags are definitely sturdy enough to be in the snap hoop monster and then just float a piece of stabilizer underneath. For sure.
Another way of doing that is fusing, cutaway. You don't fuse that. I've done that many times because I can't get it to stay and I just fuse it. It's not going anywhere. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And you can, if it has an adhesive on it, then you would fuse it. But otherwise you could use temporary spray adhesive and it'll just stay in place, right, Sue?
Even better. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Even better. I know. Okay, well, I know why you're here. You're here to see the On the House project, right?
I am. I definitely am. I can't believe it's the end of the month. However, I look forward to this all month, so I'm excited.
Well, I'm so glad, Sue, and it's always great to have you here for sure, and it's really lovely that you do the sew along on Saturday, so thank you for that.
Oh, it's fun.
And yeah, I just want to give everybody a reminder, today's program is brought to you by the Essential Hardware Kit, and great savings. You know, if you were to buy all these items separately, it would be $106 more expensive than it is today, and you get free shipping. So yeah, we would appreciate it if you take advantage of that. And what are you waiting for? If you don't have these products, you really need these products. They are the Essential Hardware Kit, right, Sue?
Definitely. I
Yeah.
think everyone should have all of that, even if you're experienced. I mean, I have it all and I
Yeah,
use it, and I've been doing this for a very long time,
right,
but it makes it easier to
right.
do.
And
And
time saving, yeah.
yes, and less mistakes.
That's right, that's right. Okay, so Ashley's going to be here next Tuesday. Speaking of the month flying by, she always is here for Software Success, the first and third Tuesday of the month. So she'll be here on April 1st. And then next week, I'll be back with, I'm not quite sure what our topic's going to be just yet, but we're going to talk about centering and alignment and, you know, getting things set up with another technique. So besides the Essential Hardware Kit. So I hope that you'll join me then. We would love it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel or like us on Facebook. And frankly, we would love it if you would like today's video. It tells us a lot that we're giving you good content and content that you expect and desire. So it tells us to keep going. And also, we want to see what you've been doing. Now, we found some of your projects. Those of you who have shared it on social media, you use the hashtag exquisite thread on the house or dime sew along. And if you continue to do that, then we'll put your projects in this video. Oh, those were fun, huh? Some of those were really great. Well, if you're looking for those free designs, you can find them on our website, dzgns.com, and go to embroidery and scroll down to free designs, and that's where you will find them. This month's project incorporates those tiles that we've been making, but now I've fashioned them into a round trivet design. So it's an in the hoop project. What do you think, Sue? Will you like that?
Oh, I love that design. I made them all and then everybody took them, so I need to make more.
Yeah. And, you
Love
know,
it.
so we did that colorful one, but I also did one in a gray. I'll bring it over to that other camera. Gray and kind of gold and, you know,
Oh,
beige.
wow.
Yeah. So it can be a little bit more elegant for sure. Like if you're serving a casserole in the dining room or something like that. So yeah, the options are really endless. I mean, with color and fabric, you can have a whole lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really like it.
that's beautiful. I can't wait to do that. I can't wait.
Good. Thank you. So the project, you know, in your download, you're going to have the PDF instructions and it will include the materials that you use. Now, instead of batting, I used our Sew Any Shape foam just because I love it. I love to have that cushion when I'm putting china or a pot or a pan on a trivet. It's just soft. Now, if you want to make it heat sensitive, add a layer of Insulbrite or 2 layers, and that will protect all your surfaces and also your hands if you want to double it as a pot holder. So, and we did use that hoop and press pad. It was so handy during this process because you know you're going to be adding fabric on the back of the project, flipping that hoop over and working from the wrong side where you have to tape it in place. And the hoop and press pad is quite handy for that. Not necessary, but oh, it's great to have. So the first thing you're going to do is hoop stabilizer, and you're going to stitch an outline. That's color 1. And then once you put down, now I did pre-cut my sew any shape foam. I just cut it in a 7-inch circle, smaller than the design, because I didn't want it in the seam allowance. I just think it turns easier, and it's just easier. It's one step to do first, but it's super fast and easy to do. Once you get that in place, you then cover it with the fabric that will be on top of the trivet, and you stitch the next color, which is the tack down, and then colors 2 through 6 are the decorative colors, and you can do them in any thread choices that, colors that you'd like. And then you're going to add the back for turning, and this is 2 parts. So I cut 2 pieces of fabric. Let's see, this is an 8-inch trivet. So I think I cut it 8 inches by 6 or 7. And then I just fold down about 1 inch at the top and top stitch that in place. I do that prior to, I just prep those pieces, 2 of them. You put the first one down and then the next one, and then tape across that fold at the outer edges, because the foot is going to travel around and you're going to sneeze and the foot's going to get caught in that fold, right, Sue?
I do that almost every time.
I know.
And I never tape it, but
I
yes.
know.
Yes.
We like to live dangerously. I say, I'll just use a skewer and I'll hold it down, and then well, it only takes a millisecond, and that's when the foot hits it. So
makes a mess.
Let's see. Catherine wants to know, what heat-resistant material do you use? I've used Insulbrite. You could just look them up. It's Insulbri. I think it's GHT, and it'll come right up. You could find it. Okay, and then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to take it out of the hoop. Now, we use pinking shears to cut it all the way around and trim that and turn it, press it. Love it. It's all done, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
it's super easy to do that.
Yeah, it's really great. So, Sue, it's such a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you. I always love being here. It's such an honor. And it's so exciting, too, because you have the best projects ever.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So, Nanette wants to know, do you have to use poly cotton thread? Well, no. You can use polyester thread. Polyester has a melt threshold. I think it's 4 1/4, 4. So I'm not putting it in the oven, So I think you're fine. And let's see, Susie Q, we have discontinued that Sally Tomato pressing system. So sorry that you missed that. Let's see. And so what else is coming up with OML? This weekend, you're doing the sew along on Saturday. What else do you have going?
Yes. Not too much yet. We kind of plan as we go. I like to put polls in the group because there's 14,000 people in the group.
14,000 people in your group?
Yes.
Is there room for more?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Good.
But I let them, whatever they want to do is what we'll do. Last week, I think it was a sweet pea project. So we did sweet pea. Yeah, why not?
Okay. Good. Yeah, sure. Why not? Well, this Saturday, you'll be doing the trivet. So I hope that you all will follow along. And so thank you, Sue, for joining me. And I hope to see you here again, probably at the end of April, right?
End of April. Yeah, it's going to go by so fast.
I know. It
I
really
can't believe it's the end of March. However, we get to do a really cool design project. So I'm kind of happy about that.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again. And thank all of you for joining me today. I hope that you take advantage of the special, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.